Welcome to Maths. This is Mangeya, the Maths Ego. Right. So this part is for Cambridge International Advanced Level Mathematics. Is pure mathematics paper 1 for May-June 2022 variant 1. Then after watching this video, please like, share and subscribe to this nice powerful video. Let's get started. Instructions. If the degree of accuracy is not specified, please treat significant figures or one decimal place for angles in degrees. Question number 1. Express x squared minus 8x plus 11 in the form x plus p squared plus q, where p and q are constants. So this one is just asking you to express in the completed form format, right? You have just to complete the square, right? Complete the square of this part. What you do is you take this part, x squared minus 8x. You take it as separate from plus 11. Then this is the part that you have to deal with, right? There is the coefficient of x, which is negative 8. So you say half of this coefficient of x, it will give you minus 4, right? This minus 4, you take it here, you take the square root of x squared is x. Then you say minus 4, this item, half the coefficient of x, then you square it. Then after that, to this item, you subtract the same fellow, the same item squared. Then let's put inside the brackets, then plus 11. Right, you simplify inside the bracket, so it will be x minus 4 squared, then minus 4 squared is 16, then plus 11. Let's remove this bracket, x minus 4 squared minus 16 plus 11. Then it will be x minus 4, then squared minus 5. So this will be your completed square form format. Done. Now, question number B. Yes, find the exact solutions of the equation. This equation, the same as this equation, completed square form, is equals to 1. So just take the completed square item minus 5, you say is equals to 1. This one on this side. Then you take this 5 to this side. Please, you have to take note. Deal with all the things that are outside the brackets first. Like in this case, there's negative 5. You have to remove it, take it to the other side. Then plus 5. It will be x minus 4 squared is equal to 6. Then to remove the square, you square root both sides. You put square root both sides. Like this. Then it will be x minus 4 is equals to root of 6. Root of a number is plus or minus. That's the square root of a number. Then you take 4 to the other side. It will be x is equals to 4 plus or minus root of 6 or square root of 6. Then your answer, your solution will be 4 minus root 6, or x is equals to 4 plus root 6. Then this will be your final answer. Done. Next, question number 2. The 13th term of an arithmetic progression is 12, and the sum of the first 30 terms is negative 15. Find the sum of the first 50 terms of the progression. Right? There are formulas that you have to apply in this case. So the first formula is the nth term of an AP is a plus n minus 1 times d. It will be there in your formula booklet, however. Then the sum of n terms of an AP arithmetic progression is n over 2 times a plus n minus 1 times common difference d. These are the two formulas that are applicable in this case. Right. So the first part, we're given T13. That the 13th term of the progression is 12, which means T13 is a plus, then you say 13 minus 1, which is 12d is equals to 12. This will become an equation. We can call it equation 1. Then on this side, we're given that the sum of the first 30 terms, which is 30 over 2, then 2a plus n minus 1, that's 30 minus 1. 30 minus 1 is 29, then times d. Then we're given that this one is negative 15. You simplify this part. It will be 30 over 2, 15. Then 2a plus 29d is equals to negative 15. Right? This one, instead of removing the brackets, you can just divide by 15 both sides. Just divide by 15 both sides. So since 15 is multiplying, just divide. You'll be left with 2a plus 29d is equals to negative 1. This will be another equation, equation number 2. Right. These are now two simultaneous equations. You solve them simultaneously. You can use elimination or substitution method. I prefer substitution. So in 1, we can make a subject. You can say 12 minus 12d. That's your A. I can call this equation number 3. This one, the third equation that I have. Then I take this item, I substitute with this A in the second equation, so that it will be 2 times A, that is 12 minus 12d, then plus 29d is equals negative 1. Now it's a matter of simplifying this part. 2 times 12, then it will be 24, remove the brackets, minus 24d plus 29d is equals negative 1. Then you can simplify this part. Minus 24d minus 29d is actually 5d. Then is equals to then minus 1 minus 24. Take 24 the other side. So it will be 5d is equals to negative 25. This 5d. Divide by 5 both sides. You get your d is equals to negative 5. That's your d. Now for A, you take equation number 3. This one. So it will be A is equals to 12 minus 12 times minus 5. So from this, if you can simplify, minus 12 times, it will be plus 60. So your A will be 72. Now we are being asked to find the sum of the first 50 terms. That's S 50. We have your A and your D. So S 50 is equals to 50 over 2. Then 2 times A, which is 72. Then plus n minus 1, that's 50 minus 1. Times common difference, which is negative 5. Like this. Then that's the method of simplifying the items. 25. Then 2 times 72. 2 times 72 is 144. Then this part, it will be minus. Then 50 minus 1 is 49. 49 times 5. You get 245. Right? If you can simplify the one item, you get negative 2525. So this will be the sum of the first 50 terms. Done. Next question, number 3. The coefficient of x to the power 4 in the expansion of 2x squared plus k squared over x is to the power 5 is a. Then the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of 2kx minus 1 to the power 4 is b. Find a and b in terms of the constant k. Right. So on the coefficient of x to the power 4 in the expansion of this first part, this a expression, then x squared in the other expansion, so equate to a and b respectively. So let's expand. In this case, you have to use the formula, right? It's a plus b to the power n, that's on series, where n is a positive integer. It will be a to the power n plus n choose 1, a to the power n minus 1, b to the power 1, plus n choose 2, a to the power n minus 2, b to the power 2, plus n choose 3, a to the power n minus 3, b to the power 3, in that order. So it's there in a formula booklet. This formula is there in a formula booklet. Don't want much about this part. Right. So our a here is 2x squared. Our b here is k squared over x. So I will say 2x squared. That's my a to the power n, which is 5. N is the power. Plus n choose 1, which is 5 choose 1. Then you can say a, that is 2x squared to the power 5 minus 1 is 4. Then times b, which is k squared over x to the power 1. Then plus 5 choose 2. Then 2x squared to the power 5 minus 2 is 3. Then times k squared, that's my b, over x to the power 2. Right, check now. I can see that the term in x to the power 4 can be found on this item. Because if you can simplify the powers of x, just consider the powers of x. X to the power 2 to the power 3 is x to the power 2 times 3. That will be x to the power 6 over this one, x squared. It will be x squared. Then you can simplify this part, you get x to the power 4. So you tend to take this part, last part, you ignore, so ignore everything, ignore this whole thing. You don't rub it off, just leave it there, but just ignore it. Now we concentrate on simplifying the part that we want. 5 choose 2 is what? Is it 10? 5 choose 2 5 choose 2 is 10. 5 choose, let me make sure, is 10, yes. Then 2 to the power 3 is 8. Then x to the power 6. Then times k squared is k to the power 4 over x squared. Then if you can simplify this part, you get 80 k to the power 4 x to the power 4. So the coefficient, that is a, is equals to 80 k to the power 4. That's my a. Then for b, I expand this part to find the term in x squared. I use the same formula. So it will be, I use this same formula up there. So it will be my a on this, in this equation, in this expression actually. This one is my a, 2kx. Then b is minus 1. So it will be a to the power n, that is 2kx to the power n, that is 4. Then plus n choose 1. 4 choose 1. Then 2kx, that's my a, to the power 4 minus 1 is 3. Then my b is minus 1 to the power 1. Then plus 4 choose 2. Then 2kx, then squared times b, which is minus 1 to the power 2. Right? So you have to expand up to the term that includes the required term. In this case, x squared. Like I can see here, this term is the one that will give me x squared. Right? So I just ignore the other item. Then I concentrate on simplifying this part. What is 4 choose 2? 6. 4 choose 2. It's 6, yes. So it will be 6 times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. Then k squared, x squared. 1 squared minus 1 squared is 1. Just like that. Then it will be 24 k squared, x squared. So my b is equals to 24 k squared. That's the coefficient done. Then a is 80k to the power 4. Right, next part, b. Given that a plus b is equals to 216, find the possible values of k. What is my a? Is 80 k to the power 4. What is my b? Is 24 k squared. Then it's equals to 216. Let me confirm. Yes, it's 80k4 and 24k squared. Then you can take this one to take everything to one side, plus 24k squared minus 216, then is equals to 0. Right, equations of this type, they always lead you to quadratic equations, right? So you can say there is k squared here, so you have to say something, let x is equals to k squared. So this is the item that you have to use. They always lead you to quadratic. So this will be, I can say 80 k squared squared, so that there will be k squared on this part, plus 24k squared minus 216 is equal to 0. Then it will be 80x, because x is k squared, x squared plus 24 minus 216 is equal to 0. Right? Can I be able to simplify this one? By 2, by 4, by 4, by 8. Let me try 8. 216. Can 8 get into 216? How many times? Let me check. Yeah, 27. So 80 divided by 8 is 10. X squared. Then plus 3. This will be x actually. 3x minus 27 is equal to 0. Like this. Then you can factorize or use the quadratic formula. It's up to you, right? So you can or you can just make use of a calculator. But you can say a is equals to 10, b is equals to 3, c is equals to negative 27. Then from this quadratic formula, it says x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This one, the quadratic formula. I substitute x is equals to minus b, which is minus 3, plus or minus square root of b squared, 3 squared, minus 4a is 10. C is negative 27, all over 2 times a, 2 times 10. So if you can simplify this whole part, you get minus 3 plus or minus square root of, right, let me just punch everything in my calculator. So this and this will give you a plus. Please take note of that part. This and this will give you a plus. Minus, minus, it will be a plus. So it will be 9 plus, then 4 times 10 times 27. Then you get square root of 1089 over 20. What is square root of 1089? square root of is 33. So it will be minus 3 plus or minus 33 over 20. Then you can say x is equals to minus 3 minus 33 over 20, or x is equals to minus 3 plus 33 over 20. Then the first part, this will give you minus 36 over 20. 36 over 20 is what? Minus 9 over 5. Then this part, it will give you 30 over 20, which is called 3 over 2, right? Remember, these are the values of x, but you have said x is equals to k squared. What you want are the values of k. So you say k squared is equals minus 9 over 5. Or k squared is equals to 3 over 2. So on this part, to remove the square, you put square root. You put square root. But on the first part, square root of a negative number is complex. So these are, you can say, no solution on this part. But on this part, it will be k is equals to root of 3 over 2. Root of a number is plus or minus. So k is plus or minus root of 3 over 2. Done. Then next question, number 4. Prove the identity. Sine to the power 3, sine cubed theta over sine theta minus 1, then minus this one, right? I can choose the left hand side because there are a bit more items on the left side than on the right side. So taking left hand side, I have shown that my left hand side is equal to my right hand side. So I have to find my common denominator here on this part. So it will be sine theta minus 1, then 1 plus sine theta, like this. Then after that, I can say sine theta minus 1 into this denominator. So it will be sine theta, 1 plus sine theta actually. 1 plus sine theta, then minus times. Then you say 1 plus sine theta into this denominator. You get sine theta minus 1. Now you can just simplify, but maintain your denominator. Sine theta minus 1, then 1 plus sine theta. Then it will be, remove the bracket, sine cubed theta, then plus sine to the power 4 theta, minus, this will be sine cubed theta, then plus sine squared theta. Then as you can see, sine cubed and sine cubed you cancel out. This part you cancel out. We'll be left with sine to the power 4 theta, then plus sine squared theta over, if you can check, the denominator is the difference of two squares. So it's the same as sine squared theta minus 1, right? What's the same as is sine theta minus 1, then sine theta plus 1. So this one came from, this one was the square root of is sine squared theta, then this one is the square root of 1. So it's sine squared theta minus 1. Then on the denominator, check here, 1 tan. So for there to be tan is sine over cos, sine theta over cos theta, which means the denominator, there must be cos theta. There must be cos theta. So sine squared theta minus 1, that's not cos theta, right? So cos squared is 1 minus sine squared, that's cos squared. So you have to change this part. How? You factor out my negative. Factor out negative 1, such that we'll be left with minus sine squared theta plus 1. So it will be 1 minus sine squared theta. This will be cos squared theta. Then it will be, on the numerator, you can also factor out sine squared. So that will be, you will be able to get the things that are on our item. Sine squared theta plus 1 over, then on this part, it will be minus cos squared theta. Then sine squared over cos squared, that's negative tan squared. Then sine squared theta plus 1. Then we are done. This one is 1 plus sine squared, but still the same. So you can just write it as minus tan squared theta, then 1 plus sine squared theta, then shown. Right, next part. Then solve the equation. So using the result that we found on part A, we're supposed to use the same to solve this part, part B, and find the values of theta between 0 and 2 pi. Take note, your angles must be in radians, not in degrees. But But you can work in radians, you can work in degrees, then change or convert to radians. Still, there's no problem with that part. Right, I will just take this item, so it will be tan squared theta 1 minus sine squared theta, then is equals to the part, this part is the one that I found up there, is this one. So it will be minus tan squared theta 1 plus sine squared theta, minus tan squared theta 1 plus sine squared theta, like this. Then I just have to simplify this part. Let me simplify. So it will be remove the bracket, or you can take this item this side, or just remove the bracket, right? So it will be, okay, just let me take this item to this side before I can move my bracket. 1 minus sine squared theta, then plus tan squared theta 1 plus sine squared theta. Take everything to one side first, then it's called 0. Let me remove my bracket now. It will be tan squared theta minus tan squared theta sine squared theta, then plus tan squared theta plus tan squared theta sine squared theta is equal to 0. Right, if you can check, we have two items that are the same. This item and this item. It's minus plus, they will cancel out. They will be 0. So we'll be left with tan squared theta plus tan squared is 2 tan squared theta is equal to 0. Right, then from this part, it will be tan squared theta divided by 2 both sides, you get 0. Then tan theta is equal to 0. Right, expressions of this item or equations of this type, you don't have to use the quadrant item or the PV method. You can just use the graph. Graph of tan is like this. Graph of tan. Right, tan theta 0, cos theta 1, cos theta 0, cos theta minus 1, even sine 1, 0, and minus 1. Just use the graph to find the solutions. Right, you can say tan 0 is 0. Then you can use pi over 2, then pi here, then 3 over 2 pi, then 2 pi. But we don't have to go even this far. Why? Because our values must be between 0 and 2 and pi actually. Is it 2 pi? It's 0 and 2 pi. And 0 is not included because there's no equal to. 2 pi also not included. So it's in between these items. So you say, then tan 90 is supposed to be asymptote here, this part. Then 180 is also another item. Then tan 270 is 0. It's actually an error. So there's an asymptote on pi over 2 and 3 over 2 pi. So if you can check, the value that is in the range is pi. So our theta is equal to pi. Done. Next part, question number 5. The diagram shows a sector ABC of a circle with center A and radius R. The line BD is perpendicular to AC. BD is perpendicular to AC. Right, there's 90-degree angle is given. Then they said angle CAB is theta radians is shown. Then given that theta is pi over 6, find the exact area of BCD in terms of pi. BCD. Want to find the area of BCD in terms of pi. So theta now are given as pi over 6. Right. So I want to find the exact area of BCD in terms of R. BCD. So it means this is the shaded part. This is the one that you have to find, right? That's BCD in terms of R and the exact item. Right. So that part you can check. You say area of a triangle, area of the sector, the whole shape, minus area unshaded, that is area of a triangle. Area of a triangle, you can use half base times height or half AB sine theta. Then area of a sector, you can just use is half R squared theta. R will already have it, that is R. Then theta is pi over 6. So you say area BCD is equals area of sector ABC minus area of triangle ABD, like that. Then area of sector is equals to half R squared theta. My theta is pi over 6, which will be equals to, simplify this part, you get pi R squared over 12. That's the area of the sector. That's part number 1. Part number B, Want now the area of triangle ABD. How can you find the area of this part? Right, can you have base times height? Or, yeah, but you must have our base or height. Or can just use half AB sine theta. But you have to find our side AD. AD, how can you find AD? Since ABD is a right angle triangle, we can use SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Right, use SOHCAHTOA to find the side AD. It's actually adjacent, and you will find in terms of R, that is AB. That's a hypotenuse. So opposite, adjacent the hypotenuse is it's cos. So you say cos, that's finding AD, cos pi over 6, that's theta, is equals to AD, that's adjacent over hypotenuse R. So it will be R cross multiply, it will be R cos pi over 6 is equals to AD. Right, cos pi over 6. Pi over 6 is what? Is it 30? Cos pi over 6. Pi over 6. That's 30. Then cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Root 3 over 2. Cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Yes, correct. So it will be root 3 over 2R is cos AD. Like this. Now to find area of a triangle, you say a half AB sine theta. Your AB is the sides which makes up the angle theta. That is pi over 6. So you have R times root 3 over 2R, then times sine theta, which is pi over 6. So it will be this part. It will be root 3 over 4, then R squared times sine pi over 6. What is sine 30? Is half. Sine 30 is half. Let me prove it. Yes, it's half. Then it will be, your final answer here will be root 3 over 8 R squared. Like this. Done. Then now area of the shaded part. You say area of this sector, which is pi. Then area needed, that is area BCD. Then is equals to area of a sector, that is pi over 12 R squared. It's pi over 12 R squared, yes, minus root 3 over 8 R squared. Right, so this one you can factor even out R squared over 12, then minus root 3 over 8, then R squared. Then this will be total area. Is it in square are they centimeters? The units not given. Right, then next part B, given instead that the length of BD is root 3 over 2 R. Find the exact perimeter of BCD in terms of R. Length of BD is root 3 over R. BD is this one is root 3 over R. Then they said find the what? Find the exact perimeter. Now want the perimeter of what? The exact perimeter of BCD. BCD. So it's still the same thing. Perimeter, distance BC plus CD plus DB. Right, so that's perimeter. So you want here. Here what you want here, I can just do it right away. What you want here, it's perimeter is BD plus DC plus BC. BC is arc length, is arc. Arc length is R theta. Please take note of that part. It's R theta. So my BD, we already given it. But DC is actually, we found our AD. AD, you found it as what? Root 3 over 2. That's my AD, right? So it's root 3 over 2. Then, actually, we're given, instead of that, so we found it as, so let's find, let me put now the new values. Let me put the new value first. So given that BD is root 3 over 2 R, BD is root 3 over 2 r. That's BD. So now let me wrap off this part. So given this part, so I can be able to find my AD. AD I can use is Pythagoras. Pythagoras, I can say r squared minus root 3 over 2 squared. So I can use Pythagoras. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So I will say AD squared. I want to find AD. AD squared plus root 3 over 2 r squared is equal to r squared. That's my hypotenuse, right? So I have to say I want AD so that I can find DC. DC will be AC minus AD. That will be my DC. So it will be, in this case, AD squared is equals to, then this one will be r squared. Then simplify this part. You get 3 r squared over 4. Like this. So it will be 1/4 r squared. So that will be AD squared. So AD squared is equal to this part, which means my AD is square root of this item, 1/4 r squared, which is equals to 1 over 2r. That will be my AD. So it's half r, like this. So it means my DC is r minus half r, which is equals to half r. So this also will be half r, just like this, right? The next item, want to find arc length BC. Arc length BC, we say r theta, which is equals to BC. R is just r theta, like in this case. So they say it find in terms of what? Find the exact perimeter of BCD in terms of r. Exact perimeter of BCD in terms of r. Right. So my arc length is r theta. And my theta now is pi over 6. So it will be, let me check this part. So they said instead the length of BD is find the exact perimeter of BCD in terms of r. So BD, I have already found it and used that part. And I found my AD. Then AD is half r. Then BD. Then AB is the same as AC. So to find DC is AC minus AD. So which means r minus half r. That's correct. Then what we need is this one now. Right, to find this part, since we still have this one 90 degrees, and you can use this one as our r, then this one root 3, then you can be able to find our theta now. So what will be our theta? You have to find theta now. So theta, using all these signs that are given, you can use cos, right? Or even SOHCAHTOA. You can just use SOHCAHTOA to find our theta. You can use r and root 3 over 2, right? So it will be opposite over hypotenuse. So it will be sine theta is equals to, use sine theta, let me use it here. Sine theta is equals to opposite, that is root 3 over 2, r over hypotenuse r. So r will cancel out, it will be sine theta is equals to root 3 over 2. Right, sine theta root 3 over 2, it will be sine theta root 3 over 2. So it will be theta is equals to arc sine of root 3 over 2. So all those things that I put there, you're supposed to show them here, to put everything here. Arc sine of root 3 over 2, it will be arc sine of root 3 divided by 2 is 60. That's 60, which is, let me just say 60 degrees, right? And 60 degrees is what? I can say is pi over 3, right? Like that. So my arc length is r theta, which is pi over 3 r, like this. So that will be my arc length, right? So it's pi over 3 R. Then I have what? I have my BD, I have my DC, so it will be root 3 over 2R plus half R. It will be root 3 over 2R plus half R plus pi over 3R. Then you can simplify this part R. Everything in terms of R. So you can simplify everything, then you can leave your answer in terms of R. So it will be it will be root 3 over 2 plus half plus pi over 3, then R. Then after that you can find the common denominator on this part. Then after that it will be 6 here. Then this and this, it will be 2 into 6, 3. So it's 3 root 3. Then plus 2 into 6 is 3 plus pi. Then R. So this will be your answer. Done. Right, next part. The function f is defined as follows. This. Find an expression for inverse of f of x. Right, this one you say let y is equals to f of x. That's why you find the inverse of a function. So it will be y is equals to x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 4. Then you make x subject. You cross multiply x squared plus 4. Then it equals x squared minus 4. Then it will be, remove the bracket. Yx squared plus 4y is equals to x squared minus 4. Collect terms in x. It will be y x squared minus x squared is equals to minus 4 minus 4y. Then you can factor out x squared here. X squared is equals to, let me say x squared here, or even on this part, to run away from the negative signs, let me just put the other item to the other side. So let me say 4y plus 4 is equals to x squared minus yx squared. Then factor out x squared on the right side. Plus 4 is equals to x squared. Then 1 minus y. It's easier this way. Then divide both sides by 1 minus y. By 1 minus y. Both sides. Then it will be 4y plus 4 over 1 minus y is equals to then x squared. Then x, you put square roots both sides so that you can find your x. You get your x is equals to root of 4y plus 4 over 1 minus y. Like this. Then your inverse of x, it will be equals to, where there's y now, you replace, you put x. Where there's y, you put x. So it will be root of 4x plus 4 over 1 minus x. So this will be the inverse. Then next, show that this item can be expressed in this form. Hence state the range of f. Right. So you can say here, it's 1 minus 8. Find the common denominator, which is x squared plus 4. So this will be over 1. You say 1 into x squared plus 4 is x squared plus 4 times 1. The numerator. Then minus x squared plus 4 into x squared plus 4 is 1 times 8. Then it will be, remove the brackets, x squared plus 4 minus 8 over x squared plus 4. Then it will be x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 4. Right, then the range, you check the domain. The domain is what? It's x greater than 2. So you just substitute 2. Right, you just substitute 2 here. So domain, my range will be, so it will be, you put 2 here, where there is x. So it will be 2 squared minus 4. That's for the range. Right, 2 squared minus 4 over 2 squared plus 4. So it will be 2 squared minus 4 is 4 minus 4. Then the whole thing will be cleared to 0 over 8. So it will be 0. So in other words, we're just saying f of x. That is our range. So range is f of x greater than 0. Right? So done. Just like that. Then explain why the composite function f of x cannot be formed. So f. Right, for the composite function to be formed, basically, we have the range and the domain. First has domain, range and domain. So the range must contain all of the domain. So if the range of the first part does not contain the domain of the second part, then in that case it means a composite function can be formed. So let's check. Do we have the range is f of x greater than 0. That's the range. Range is f of x greater than 0. Then domain, it was x greater than, is it 2? Yeah, it was greater than 2, right? Then if you can check now, if you can take this domain, then substitute here. You can take maybe a number that's greater than 2. You can take maybe 5. A number greater than 2, you can take 5. If you can take 5, we substitute 5 here. What do we get into this item? Let's put 5. It will be 5 squared minus 4. That one is x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 4. So take x equals to 5. So you can say it will be 5 squared minus 4 over 5 squared plus 4. This one is 5. It's 4, it's 4, it's 4, it's 4. Then it will be 5 squared minus 4 is 25. 25 minus 4 is 21. Over 5 squared 24 is 29. You can see. So this one is actually less than 0. It's actually a value that is not contained in the domain actually. So f of x greater than 0 actually, right? So f of x. So this one is not contained in the domain. So if it's not contained in the domain, then you can deduce or conclude that the composite function of this part cannot be formed. Right, done. Next, question number 7. The diagram shows the cave with the equation y is equal to 3x minus 2 to the power half. And the line y is equal to half x plus 1. The cave and the line intersect at the points A and B. Right. Then find the coordinates of A and B. You have to find the coordinates of A and B in this case. First thing, these are the coordinate points of intersection of the line in the cave. How do you find them? You just solve the equations as simultaneous equations. Right. And we are given that y is equal to half x plus 1 and y is equal to 3x minus 2 to the power half. So you just take the two items. You say 3x minus 2 to the power half is equal to half x plus 1. You equate them. Then you can find the values of A and B. These are the coordinate points of intersection of the two items. So to the power half, you raise both sides to the power 2. You square both sides such that you get is equal to half x plus 1. Then to the power 2. Then expand this side, the right side. So it will be 3x minus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to, you say half x. Then half x plus 1, you multiply this item. Then also multiply plus 1. Then it's half x plus 1. Then it will be 3x minus 2 is equals to 1 over 4x squared plus half x plus 1. Then you can simplify this part. Is 3x minus 2 is equals to, maintain this 1 over 4x squared, then plus half x plus half x is 1x, or just x, right? Then plus 1, right? Multiply everything by 4 to get rid of the denominator 4. It will be 12x here, everything by 4. Minus 8 is equals to x squared plus 4x, then plus 4. Then expressed as a quadratic, it's better to put everything to the right side or the equal sign. Then plus 4x, then minus 12x, then plus 4, then plus 8, like this. Then it will be 0 is equals to x squared, then minus 8x plus 12. Something like this. So you get x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equals to 0. Right? You can factorize this part. So you get the factors is minus 6 and minus 2. So it will be x minus 6 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So it will be x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 2. So these are the factors, right? So how did I find the factors? I have to multiply x squared and 12. So it's 12x squared plus, then the mid value is minus 8x. Find two numbers. When you multiply, they give you 12x. When you add or subtract, they give you negative 8. Right, so these are the x coordinates. Now for y, you take any of the equation. You can take y is equal to half x. Y is equal to half x plus 1. So you say when x is equal to 6, then y is equal to half times 6 plus 1, which is equal to 3 plus 1 is 4. So you have a coordinate x6, y 4, like this. Then you can say when x is equals to 2, then y is equals to half, then 2 plus 1. So it will be 1 plus 1 is 2. We have another coordinate, x2, y2, like this. So these are the coordinates of A and B. So A is this one, actually, is 2, 2. Then B is 6, 4. Done. Next question. Next question. Let's find the area of the region enclosed between the curve and the line. Area enclosed between the curve and the line. So on this area, we can produce this item to this part. So A, we find the x is 2. Then there you find our x is 6. So it's 2 and 6. So I want to find the area of this shaded part. So you can see, we say the area below the curve minus area below the line. Area below the curve is the curve is above the line. So you say area above minus area below. Area below is the one that is unshaded. So you say area of the whole shape. This one is primary level, right? Area of the whole shape minus area unshaded. It's still the same concept that you have to apply. Right? So you say area under the curve. Curve is 3x minus 2 to the power half. Then from 2 to 6 minus area under the line, that's half x plus 1 dx. Then the same limits 2 to 6. Let me check. Is it half x plus 1? Yes, correct. Even the line, if you can check the line, is forming a trapezium, right? You can even still use the formula for the trapezium and still get the item. But first thing you say area is equals area below the line minus area below the curve minus area below the line. You can even write it as your first statement, right? Then integrate this part. You get what? You get here 3 then times 1 over half plus 1. Then x to the power. Or let me just use this method. Let me just use expansion or integration of the form. Y is equals to, let me just put it ax plus b to the power n. So it will be 1 over n plus 1. Then it will be ax plus b to the power n plus 1, then plus a constant. This is the concept that I'm applying in this case, right? Please take note of that part. So it will be 1 over n plus 1, that is n is power half plus 1. Then times the derivative. If this one, there is the derivative, you also have to multiply by the derivative of what is inside the brackets. That's ax plus b. So it is times the derivative, 3x minus 2, differentiate, you get 3. Then you maintain this item, 3x minus 2 to the power half plus 1. Right, that's this part. Then 6 and 2, these are the limits. Then minus on this part, half, it will be half times integrate x, you get x squared over 2. Then plus integrate 1, you get x. Then the limits is 6 and 2, like this. Right, simplify this part. Half plus 1 is 3 over 2. 3 times 3 over 2. 3 times 3 over 2 is 9 over 2. 9 over 2, 1 divided by 9 over 2 is 2 over 9. So it will be 3x minus 2. Half plus 1 is 3 over 2. Then here it will be 6 and 2, the limits. Then minus this part, if you can simplify, it will be x squared over 4. Then plus x, to then 6 and 2. These are the limits. Right, further, you can now put the limits. So it will be 2 over 9. This first bracket, where there's x, put 6. Then the power 3 over 2. Then minus 2 over 9. Then when there's x, you put 2. Minus 2 to the power 3 over 2. Then minus on this part, where there's x, you put 6 first. 6 squared over 4 plus 6. Then minus, where there's x, you put 2. 2 squared over 4 plus 2. Then simplify this whole thing. What do we get? You can make use of a calculator. 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 2 is 16. 16 to the power 3 over 2. 16 to the power 3 over 2, you get 64. Then 2 over 9 times 64, 128 over 9. So this part will give you 128 over 9 minus, then this part, 3 minus 2, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 to the power 3 over 2, 4 to the power 3 over 2. Supposed to give you 8. So 8 times 2 over 9 is 16 over 9. Then minus this part. 6 squared. 6 squared is what? It's actually 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Because 6 squared is 36. Divided by 4 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Minus, then 2 squared is 4. 4 over 4 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Like this. Then you can say 128 over 9 minus 16 over 9. So just say 128 minus 16. Then you get 112. 112 over 9. You get 112 over 9. Minus, then 15 minus is 12. So this one minus 12, you get 4 over 9. So these are square units done. Next question number 8. The curve y is equals sine x is transformed to the curve y is equals 4 sine half x minus 30. Then they say describe fully a sequence of transformations that have been combined, making it clear the order in which the transformations are applied. Right. So what you do is the graph of y is equals sine x that has been transformed. So we have this 4. You say y is equals to a sine bx plus c, then plus d. So this a represents a stretch in the y direction. Stretch factor a. This b represents a stretch in the x direction. Stretch factor is opposite, it will be 1 over b. Then c and d represent a translation, and the vector will be c is plus c, it will be minus c, d. That's the concept that you have to apply in this case, right? So you have to start with the translation. So you say translation, because there is 30 here. Translation, then you say vector, you write 30, 0 in the y. Because there's nothing outside the brackets. Everything inside, all the things inside represent x, and the things outside the brackets represent y. Just like that. So for y, we just have 4. For x, we have half x and 30. These ones represent x. For y, we just have 4. Right now, we move on to the x part. So this bracket, this one, and this one, the next one. So it will be a stretch. Actually, it's two-way stretch. Two-way stretch. We start with the x direction. X direction, then factor. That's stretch factor. It's half. In this case, it's half. So it will be 2. It's the opposite. Then y direction. Y direction stretch factor is 4. So y is always straightforward. Done. These are 5 free marks. Then find the exact solutions of the equation 4 sine half x minus 30 is equals to 2 root 2. Right. So you have to find the solution for this part. So you just say here, first thing, you divide by 4. So it will be sine half x minus 30 is equals to 2 root 2 over 4. Then it will be sine half x minus 30 is equals to, then it will be root 2 over 2. Right. Then you'll be left with half x minus 30 is equals to sine, it will be arc sine, the power minus 1. Then root 2 over 2. What is arc sine of root 2 over 2? And our angles must be in degrees in this case. So you say arc sine of root 2 over 2. Root 2 divided by 2 is 45. Right. So it's 45 degrees. So it will be half x minus 30 is equal to 45 degrees. This will be your PV, your principal value or primary value. That's the one that you use to draw your quadrant. Right, you come back to this part. You can say our sine theta is actually, or sine x is positive. So sine x is positive in which quadrant? It will be in the first and second quadrant. Right? So it's first and second quadrant. That's why you can have sine x being positive. So you find your line in the first and second quadrant. Then you put 45 here, degrees. You put 45 here in the first and second quadrant. Then after that, you find the angles now. The first part, you say it's half x here minus 30 is equals to, right? The first one, from this line to the first line. From the positive x-axis, this one, the positive x-axis, please. That's how you find your angles. So it's always from the positive x-axis. So it's 45 degrees to the first line. Right. Now to the second line, it will be half x is equals to, from this one to this one. It's 180 minus 45. Is it 135? 135, like this. So it's half x minus 30 is equals to 135. So here it will be half x is equals to 45 plus 30. Right? So it will be half x is equals to this 75. Then x is equals to 75 by 2 is 150 degrees. Then on this part, it will be half x is equals to 135 plus 30. So 135 plus 30, it will give you what? 135 plus 30, 165. Then you multiply 165 by 2, what you get is 330. Right, so these are the two solutions from 0 to 360. So x is equals to 150 degrees and 330 degrees. Done. Right, next question number 9. The equation of a circle is this one. Then parents, find the coordinates of the center of the circle and the radius. Yes, find the coordinates of the lowest point of the circle. Right, so the equation is in this form. You have always to know the equation of the circle is in the form of x squared plus y squared plus 2ax plus 2by plus c is equal to 0. Like this. So if they say find the center, where center is minus a minus b. So that's our center here. That's our center. So you take this part, x squared plus y squared. Then you factor out 2 on this part. So you'll be left with 3 inside x. So that it will be exactly in this form. Then you say plus, you factor out 2 here. It will be minus 1 inside y. Minus 26 is equal to 0. So center is minus 3 minus minus 1. So minus 3 minus minus 1 is plus 1. So it will be minus 3, 1. So center is equals to minus 3, 1. That's the center. Done. Then, let's find the coordinates of the lowest point on the circle. Let's find the coordinates of the lowest point on the circle. Right, we are given that we also have to find the radius also. So radius r, we say r is equal to square root of a squared plus b squared minus c. So c is this part, this last part. That's in this case minus 26. So it will be square root of a, that's the center, minus 3 squared plus b, that's 1 squared, then minus c is minus 26. So it will be what? It will be this part, root of 3 squared is 9, 9 plus 1 plus 26. So it will be 9 plus 1 plus 26, what do we get? 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 26 is actually 36. So it will be root of 36. So it will be 6. Like this. So after that, it will be the radius is equal to 6. Then done. Next question. Find the set of values of k, of the constant k, for which the line with the equation y is equal to kx minus 5 intersect the circle at two distinct points. Two distinct points, what does it mean? It means b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. That's two distinct or different points. It means there are two roots to this equation, right? So find the set of values of the constant k for which the line with the equation y is equal to kx minus 5 intersect the circle at two distinct points. Let's find the equation of the circle. It's here. Let's check it. Let's bring it down. X squared y squared, then 6x minus 2y minus 26. 6x minus 2y minus 26. So it's x squared plus y squared, then plus like this. Then we have this line kx minus 5. So to find the coordinate points of intersection, solve these simultaneous equations. Use substitution. So this will be equation number 1, equation number 2. So y is equal to this one. So you take y, you put where there's y, where there's y. So it will be x squared plus, where there's y, you put kx minus 5 squared, then plus 6x minus 2, kx minus 5 minus 26 is equal to 0. Then after that, you simplify. What do you have to find? The values at the constant k, the set of values at the constant k, right? So you simplify this part. It will be x squared here, then plus, this one is a double bracket. So it's kx minus 5, minus 5, kx minus 5, then plus 6x, then minus 2kx, then plus 10 minus 26 is equal to 0. Then here it will be x squared plus, then this will be k squared x squared minus 5kx. This one is 5kx actually. Minus 5kx, then minus 5kx plus 25, then plus 6x minus 2kx, then minus 16 is equal to 0. Then it will be x squared plus k squared x squared, then minus 10kx. Actually, this one, if I can just simplify with even 2. So it's minus 5kx minus 5kx. It's minus 10kx. Then minus 2kx is minus 12kx. Then 25 minus 16. 25 minus 16, to be sure, is 9. So it is supposed to be positive 9 in this case. Then is equals to 0. Right. Let's express in the form of b squared minus 4ac. So our a, let me factor out x squared here. Expressed in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 first. Then minus 12kx plus 9 is equal to 0. Then my a is 1 plus k squared. Then my b is negative 12kx, k. Then my c is 9. So I can say b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. These are the sets of values. Then I can say b squared is minus 12k squared. Then minus 4a, that's 1 plus k squared. Then c is 9. So I can just say times 9, then must be greater than 0. Then I have to deal with this part now. It will be 144k squared. Then minus, then 4 times 9 is 36. 36 times 1 is 36. Then minus 36k squared is greater than 0. Like this. Then 144 minus 36. You get 108. 108k squared minus 36 is greater than 0. Then from this, let's see if we can divide by 36. 108 divided by 36, can it be divided? Is 3. So it will be 3k squared minus 1 is greater than 0. Then from this one, you can find the critical values of k in this case, right? Because 3k squared, if we can say minus 1 is equal to 0. So if the critical values here, what are the critical values? 3k squared is equals to 1. Then k squared is equals to 1 over 3. So k is equals to, you put square root both sides. So it's plus or minus 1 over 3, like this. Then you have greater than now. So if you have greater than, you can just use this item. It's quadratic, right? So you put minus 1 over root 3. Then you put plus 1 over 3, like this one. Then after that is this part, because it's greater than, and this part is greater than. So you can say k is less than minus, or k is greater than root of 1 over 3. Root of 1 over 3 is the same as 1 over root 3. Please take note of that part. Or root 3 over 3. It's still the same thing. Done. Then next, question number 10. The equation of the curve of a curve is such that d squared y over dx squared is equal to 6x squared minus 4 over x cubed. The curve is a stationary point at minus 1, 9 over 2. Determine the nature of the stationary point at minus 1, 9 over 2. Nature is either minimum or maximum point. So you just find d squared y over dx squared. It's already given r. So you just put x minus 1. So x goes minus 1. You say d squared y over dx squared is equal to 6 times minus 1 squared minus 4 over minus 1 cubed. Simplify this part. It will be 6 minus 4. So it will be 10, positive 10. Right. So positive 10, it means it's greater than 0. So if d squared y over dx squared is greater than 0, so you can say d squared y over dx squared is greater than 0. So it's a minimum. Done. It's a minimum point. Then find the equation of the curve. Equation of the curve. How do you find it? Yeah, you are given d squared y over dx squared. So you are going back to dy dx, right? How do you find dy dx? You just integrate. So you integrate that d squared y over dx squared. So you integrate this part. So integrate 6x squared. So that will be your dy over dx is equals integral of 6x squared then minus 4 over x cubed. So if you can integrate this part. Actually, to find the d squared y over dx squared, we differentiate it, right? We differentiate that part to find that part. Then now, to find the item before that part, you have to integrate. So we integrate, we find our dy dx. Then after that, to find the equation of the curve, you have to integrate again so that you can find y, or that is our f of x. So if you can find this part, so the nature, we have a stationary point that is minus 1, then 9 over 2. So dy dx at this point must be equal to 0. So this one will help you to find the value of the constants. Right, let's integrate this part. So it will be 6 times x squared, it will be x cubed over 3, then minus. Then this part, you put it up. So it will be 4x to the power minus 3. Then integrate this part, it will be 4 times 1 over minus 3 plus 1, x to the power minus 3 plus 1, like this. So it will be, this one, it will be minus 2. So it's the same as is 4 over minus 2, x to the power minus 2. So it will be 4 over minus 2, x to the power minus 2. Plus a constant of integration. So it will be 3 into 6. 3 into 6 is 2, x3, then plus, it will be plus actually. Then 2 into 4 is 2, x to the power minus 2 plus a constant. So this will be my dy dx. And dy dx at this point must be equal to 0, right? Then at this point, what is our point? Our point is minus 1 and 9 over 2. Minus 1 and 9 over 2. So you put x is equals minus 1. This one is the value of x. X is equals minus 1 to find the value of k. So it will be 0 is equals to 2 minus 1 cubed plus 2 minus 1 to the power minus 2 plus k. Simplifying this part, you get 0 is equals to minus 2, then plus 2 plus k. So this will be 0. So you just get k is equals to 0 if you can simplify this part. So your dy dx your dy over dx is equals to, so it will be this part, this fellow here. So it will be 2x cubed, then plus 2x to the power minus 2, then plus 0. So your k is 0. But you have to find the equation of the curve. That will be your y. So to find the equation of the curve, you can integrate also this part. You get your y, right? So integrate dy dx, you get your y. The same as dy is equals to 2x cubed plus 2x to the power minus 2 dx, right? It's the same as something like this. Then it will be y is equals. So in other words, if you can integrate dy over dx, you must get your y, right? Then it will be, you integrate this part. So it will be, actually dy dx will be wrong. Integrate dy. Dy, that's where you're supposed to get y. Dy, that's where you're supposed to get y. So integrate this side, or just integrate this side, right? So it will be 2 times, then x cubed, that's x to the power 4 over 4, then plus, then 2 times 1 over, minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1, x to the power minus 1, then plus a constant, right? Then after that, it will be y is equals to, then 2, it will be x to the power 4 over 4 over 2 actually. If I can simplify this part, let me also remove this item so that I can have more space for my working. So it will be x to the power 4 over 2, then minus 2x to the power minus 1, then plus a constant. Then to find the value of the constant, you still use the same item, right? So use this one, y is equals to 9 over 2, and x is equals to minus 1. It still satisfies the same equation. So with this one, you put 9 over 2 is equals to x minus 1 to the power 4 over 2 minus 2 minus 1 to the power minus 1 plus a constant. So use this part. So it will be 9 over 2 is equals to, then this part, it will be half. Then minus 2, then plus k. You take this item to one side, what do you get? So it will be half minus 2 is minus 1 and a half. Minus 1 and a half, which is minus 3 over 2. So 9, which is 4.5, plus, you get 6. So your k is equals to 6. So the equation of the curve now, it will be, is this one. This one is the equation of the curve. But you have to replace our k. So it will be y is equals to x to the power 4 over 2 minus 2 over x, then plus 6. This will be the equation of the curve. Next part, show that the curve is no other stationary point. If there are no any other stationary point, what do? You just say dy dx is equal to 0. Then you find the values of x. If you can find only one value, it means there's only one stationary point. If you can have more than one, then it means there are so many stationary points. Where is our dy dx? Our dy dx is this one. This is our dy dx. Where are you? Is this one. That's the one that you have to check, right? So it's 2x cubed plus 2 over x squared. 2x cubed plus 2 over x squared. So this one is our dy over dx. And dy dx is equal to 0. A stationary point, 2x cubed plus 2 over x squared is equal to 0. Then multiply everything by x squared. So it will be 2x to the power 5 plus 2 is equals to 0, like this. Then it will be 2 x to the power 5 is equals to minus 2. Then divide by 2 by 2, you get x to the power 5 is equals to negative 1. Then you put fifth root now. To remove the 5, you put fifth root both sides. So x is equals, fifth root of minus 1 is just minus 1. So there's only one value of x. So there's one stationary point. No any other stationary point done. The next part, a point A is moving along the curve, and the y-coordinate of A is increasing at a rate of 5 units per second. They said a point A is moving along the curve. And the y coordinate of A, that is dy, is increasing at a rate over dt of 5 units per second. It's a constant rate, right? Then find the rate of increase of the x coordinate when x equals to 1. So 1 dx over dt is equals to what? But we are given dy over dx is equals to dy over dx, we take it here, is this one. So it's 2x cubed, then plus 2 over x squared. That's my dy dx, right? So we have 3 different items. So I want to find dx dt, we have dy dx. How can we find dx dt? So we say dx over dt is equals to, right? We can say, for us to be able to find, we say dy over dt, then divided by dy over dx, so that dx can be on top. We can find our dx dt. dy will cancel out. So you can find dy dt, which is 5 over dy dx, that is 2x cubed plus 2 over x squared. So this will be your dx dt. But at the instant when x equals to 1, you now put x is equals to 1. So it will be 5 over 2, 1 cubed plus 2 over 1 squared. Then simplifying this item further, you get 5 over, then 2 plus 2, so it will be 5 over 4. Done. So it's 5 over 4. Then we can say units per second. Done. Then next, we are done. So please don't forget to subscribe, like this video. Say Mangeya, the Maths Eagle. 0774024150. The eagle signed. Thank you for watching. Then subscribe and share.